Blitz!
I'm Travis Downey, this is Adam Rosenberg, and this is another installment of the Northwest Florida Daily News' Prep Football Blitz. Get you guys set up for Friday night. The season coming to an end, next to last regular season week of Friday night football. Starting off with Rocky Bayou there, back in district play on the road at Tallahassee FAMU. I'm going to go out on a ledge here and say FAMU wins this one. I think they're going to out-athlete Rocky Bayou. How do you like this one? I'm
going to have to agree. Rocky Bayou, you know, they lost to Graceville, which was probably their best chance to win another game. Yep. FAMU is a quick team, strong team. They even, you know, put a little scare into Walton.
Right.
You know, towards the end they started to move the ball. So I think if they can do that against Walton, they could certainly do it against Rocky.
Yeah, FAMU with only 2 wins, kind of surprising, but yeah, I think they'll get number 3 here this week. Then moving on, District 1A, Baker coming off a tough loss to Freeport. Pretty game effort by the Gators there. They're on the road at Jay. Jay's a team, could be one of the weaker teams Baker will see all year. Just winless on the year is Jay. I'm going to go with Baker. I think when you look at what they've been doing offensively with Logan Wagner, Christian Maynard, Beta Moore, they're going to put up the points, and I don't think Jay is going to score enough to keep up with Baker.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming off a heartbreaking loss, there's no better cure than playing Jay, I would say.
Right.
And probably something a lot of people don't know, Logan Wagner, 4th in the area rushing, 607 rushing yards on the season. That surprised me a bit. Yeah. So, yeah, Baker gets the win here.
1,300 yards rushing, or passing as well for Wagner. So he's having a heck of a year. Early favorite maybe for small school player of the year.
Perhaps.
Sticking in District 1A, Freeport, you know, they're the champs of that district now. They're going on the road at Holmes County. I like Freeport. I just think, you know, even without Paul Holmes, who won't be with them anymore this year, they just have more skill, and they just seem to find ways to win, even when their offense maybe isn't clicking. So I'm going to go with Freeport.
You know, this is attempting to pick Holmes County here because, you know, Freeport's got the district title locked up. They may hold back a bit. You never know. I still think Freeport's going to get the win just because from what I've seen so far, they're so far ahead of the other teams in the district. That, you know, they're coming off a game where they got a scare put into them by Baker. And that could be a wake-up call for them to kind of get them back on track to play their best football and get the win there.
Again, sticking with that district, kind of an inter-district matchup here. South Walton going on the road to Walton. How do you like this one?
Well, talk about distractions for South Walton. You know, Coach David Barron obviously facing legal trouble for you know, things that went on at their practice. That can't be easy for the kids on the team. You know, because you never want to see that happen. Plus, they're going up against a really good Walton football team. Yeah. So, and you know, no matter what the distractions, I'd probably still pick Walton, which is who I'm going to pick. Walton's lost 2 games in a row. One of them was a Pensacola Catholic. Obviously, there's no harm, you know, no shame in that. And then to a 4A Wakulla team. So it's not like they've lost to smaller teams. I think Walton gets back on track with the win here.
Yeah, I do too. I just think Walton a little bit more speed than South Walton's probably seen this season, and it's at home for the Braves as well. So I like Walton to get that one, and it might not be real close in those later stages of the game. Choctaw, you know, we talk about teams in the playoff hunt. They secured that spot last week with a big home win. Now they're going on the road to Gulf Breeze, and I kind of see this one similar to Baker and Jay. If you want to right whatever's ailing you, you know, you play Jay or you play Gulf Breeze. Gulf Breeze has been really bad this year too. I like Choctaw. I just think they're really rolling. We've been talking about this the last several weeks. They have found that stride, and they're playing exceptionally well. I like Choctaw to win this one.
Choctaw's, you know, got the Oregon Ducks offense going. They're averaging 47 points a game in their last 4 games. That's going to win you a lot of high school football games if you can score that many points. Jesse Adams has been great. Therian Robinson running the ball. They got too many weapons.
Seems like we keep bringing up Jesse Adams' name, but when you run for 4, throw for 2, it's not a bad day.
Yeah, you're gonna get mentioned if you fill up the stat sheet like that.
Navarre on the road at Tate. They secured their playoff berth last week, and with 2 more wins, they can reach that 8-win plateau, which would be the best regular season record in Navarre history. So they're going on the road to Tate. I like Navarre to get this one. It's a big district game for them. They're riding high off that win over Pace, so you worry about a letdown. But I don't think Lashley's going to let that happen. I like Navarre.
Yeah, I mean, you would think a letdown, but Navarre has proven us wrong, or at least proven me wrong. You know, I picked against them a couple times. I know they're a great football team. I've seen them play. But, you know, I picked against them against Pace. Made me look bad, of course. I think Navarre might be the best football team in our area.
Yeah.
Which is not something we would have guessed when the season started, but Colton Kane's been great. That defense is just nasty, and I mean that in a good way. And I think Navarre gets the win here.
We mentioned Colton Kane, and something that really stuck out about that win over Pace. He had 4 interceptions, and they still won by 10 at Pace. Pretty remarkable win. Mosley, District 2 4A. It's 2 big games. One big game, one undercard, I guess you will. Mosley at Fort Walton Beach. We know Fort Walton Beach's troubles. How do you like this one?
You know, I want to pick Fort Walton Beach, but I've just seen them so many times this year. If something can go wrong, it will. And, you know, I don't know what to say about that other than just one of those years. You know, Fort Walton Beach is missing, at least against Alma Bryant, was missing 3 of their 4 starting defensive linemen. And they're great linemen that are out, and you saw that with the running game that Bryant was able to put up. And if those guys, we know DeAndre's Mount is out. If Robert Willis and Ashkan Balutoglu are both out, they're not going to be able to stop anyone. And Mosley has a couple of talented running backs.
Yeah, this isn't the same Mosley team that lost to Niceville. They're healthy in that backfield now. I like Mosley too. Even though it's at Fort Walton Beach, I think Mosley will get that win. And that brings us to the game of the week, District 2 4A championship game for all intents and purposes. Niceville, defending champion, at Crestview. How do you see this one going?
You know, Niceville, from the outset of the season, we talked about as the class of the district. You know, they have the pedigree of winning and, you know, state runner-up last year. Everything would point to them winning. I'm going to go with Crestview. I'm going to go with the home team that's kind of riding high right now. They're coming off some wins. Niceville's coming off a tough loss at Auburn. Yeah. And, you know, you never – and as far as the injury report, we don't know about that, but Niceville might be a little beat up from that game because Auburn's a big physical football team. Right. Whereas Crestview had a relatively easy win over Leon. I think Crestview with the full stands over there at Foster Stadium, you know, kind of they're the team with something to prove, and then they have, you know, a pretty good running game with Jerry Seiler and a solid defense as well. I think Crestview gets what would be probably an upset win. Yeah.
That's a good pick. I like Crestview. I like what they've been doing, especially offensively. You mentioned the running game with Seiler and whatnot. The play-action game was really big against Leon, too. One thing about that Leon game, Leon had 7 fumbles. I think they lost 4 of them. I don't see Niceville going in there and coughing the ball up nearly that much. No. I think I like Niceville. I think going in, they've been in this situation far more times than Crestview, and they've succeeded in these situations. I think it's gonna be a great game. I just think Niceville will get the win.
Well, you know, the biggest game of the year. We're on opposite sides of the fence on this one, so it'll make it a little more interesting to see how it turns out. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.